But we do have more news that we want to talk about today.
Right.
Mark Riley, what is going on in the world of the interwebs?
Well, let's start with some Carrie Fisher news. J.J. Abrams has recently revealed that even though we lost Carrie, it did not change the story for Rise of Skywalker for what they were going to use, and that they've done some things that I'm going to pull up the actual article because it makes me think that we actually are going to get a little bit of kind of mocap kind of acting from somebody that could be Carrie Fisher or Princess Leia. He said there are scenes where she's interacting with other characters in a way that is uncanny. Hopefully, if it works, it will be an invisible thing, and if you didn't know, you would never know. But we got to tell the story with Leia that we would have told had Carrie lived, and that's kind of incredible.
It's uncanny how much the mocap looks like Carrie Fisher, or what's the uncanny part?
I'm reading into it.
Like Uncanny Valley.
That's what I'm going with.
It sounds to me like what he's saying is whatever footage they shot, whatever dialogue they shot, they were able to fit in seamlessly to the plot of Rise of Skywalker, unless that they had a person sort of like that. That's how I'm reading it, at least.
I was reading it a little bit differently. I was reading it like maybe they did do some effects to kind of maybe they had a body double and they did something. But yes, the full-on front looks and dialogue, I think, is her from unused footage. But it'd be interesting to see, because if he's not changing the story because of losing her, then that's very interesting. It makes me think that they had more footage than we were led on to believe.
Dorina, what do you think? Do you think that they are just saying this now? JJ's just saying that the story hasn't changed because there's no point in telling fans that the story had to change? Or do you think the story actually didn't change and they were able to tell it the exact way that they were planning on when Carrie Fisher was alive?
I think Star Wars fandom is crazy, and so some of these people are just like, oh, it's fine, guys, don't worry about it. Like, everything they come out and say, I feel like, is to calm down people, even though it doesn't matter what you say, it blows up. It seems like the smart thing to do would be originally what I thought they were going to do, which is have her be in the movie with the scenes that were already shot, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I still don't think that they... as we've had the discussion or fight about James Dean, I still don't think they should use dead people in that regards. Like, I know this is for the story's purposes.
You don't think they should CGI people who have passed?
No, I don't.
Including Carrie Fisher?
I mean, it's my opinion. Like, I think if people think that's fine, whatever. But I just feel like you're not honoring her memory. But I could be wrong. I could watch it, and they could do something that actually blows my mind, and they do it in a very beautiful way. I have no idea, right? We can't really have the opinion until we see it.
Clark, how do you feel about that? Do you think that they should be able to CGI or mocap, however they do, Carrie Fisher, or that's not appropriate?
Well, I mean, I think if they're using footage that already existed and they're able to shoot around and make it make sense, I think that's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. But I do not think that you should be able to recreate from computer technology, basically recreate a person like the James Dean example. Like, I think that's really, really scary, and I hope that actors going forward start putting that in their contracts. They better, because it feels, to me, it feels gross, but also it doesn't look right. Like when they did it in Rogue One. That I thought it looked awful, like legit bad.
For both Carrie and Peter Cushing?
Both, I thought looked bad. But Peter Cushing is more... They recreated him,
right? Yeah. But it's what's interesting to me about Rogue One, and I've seen it with other movies where they either DH people or they do CG. It's funny that other friends didn't even know it wasn't Peter Cushing. Like, I guess they're not huge Star Wars fans, but they just thought it was a person, and I'm like, it was clearly a video game to me. That's what's so bizarre.
My mother thought Peter Cushing was alive. She's like, oh, they got the actor back who played in the original movie. And I said, well, that was all digital. And she went, what? And I said, well, Peter Cushing is no longer with us.
And how did she feel about it when you told her that?
She was amazed that she was fooled. But
Amazed in a good way?
in a good way.
She thought that it was fine that they had done that.
Yeah, but this is also the woman that thought this was the sequel to Force Awakens, and Rey looked very different. So you know what? Your guess is as good as mine. I kind of wanted to end the conversation because it was a lot of questions coming at me that I really didn't have time to answer with my mother. God bless her.
I don't think I've ever heard that. She thought that it was a legit sequel.
She legit thought it was a sequel to Force Awakens, and she
Right.
went, Rey looks really different.
Yeah, it's like George.
She's
like,
right. Ray
she
does.
does.
Ray
Yeah.
does
She did
look
look
very
different.
different
And
because
I
it is
said-
not the same person.
Well, I did say it was Jyn Erso, and she went, who? And I went, okay,
Yeah.
it's Felicity Jones. She's in she's Theory About Everything, blah blah blah. You know her, and a different story, Mom. It takes place before A New Hope, and that's when I lost her. She's like, I just want to see a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, well, that's most people.
Yeah.
We're just the losers that keep talking about it.
Carrie Fisher's daughter is involved in one of the scenes that we've seen or that they've talked about that they're doing it together. Does it make you guys feel any different that they probably have her consent to do all of the things that they're doing with her mom?
The thing is, she was in the middle of a trilogy of movies when she passed away. So I don't think that this is the same thing. Like, not even close. I think that if in 20 years they go to Billie Lourd and ask her, can we use your mom's image to do a side Leia story, I think that's weird.
Right. But
Even if Billie Lourd says yes.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's weird.
yeah, but like you said, right? Like now actors should be having those things in their contract
Yeah.
because some people might not care. Like Roxy's she's like CG me
I
everywhere
want to
when I'm dead.
everywhere when
Yeah.
I'm dead. I want you to put me in every single movie that you possibly can. In fact, I'm putting it on you guys here today that if something happens to me, you guarantee me I'm in at least 5 movies next year.
Cody, can we please get
Just sign
Frank
your
to
life rights away right here.
Can we get
please?
Frank to deep fake Roxy's face into
Done.
all our faces for the show?
I'm on it.
Yes, that's what I want. And I've heard from the internet that I'm an anomaly. Surprise,
go.
surprise. But that's how I feel.
But hey, it's interesting to think about the deepfake stuff too, because for that purpose, you're using it for like parody, right? So is it only dead celebrities that should be not deepfaked? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I don't think anybody should be deep faked.
But it's
I think
already
this is
happening.
I
I
know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's
We're-
very bad.
We're gonna buy hologram celebrities at some point
This
to
is
hang
gonna-
out with.
Well,
It's
this
crazy.
is going to cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that company, we talked about it a lot. I mean, they keep bringing up other dead celebrities that they want to make movies around, and that scares me. I don't like that at all, and I think it's going to be something that we mentioned it. If you're an actor now, you might have to put stuff in your contract for when you pass on.
I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Put it in your contract.
Yeah.
And if this is something we do moving forward and some people want it and some people don't, give it to the people who want it
Yeah,
and don't
or
to the people who
put
don't.
it in your contract that if they use your likeness after your death, that your estate is entitled to compensation. Like, I mean, just as long as I think the person in question has agency, that's like the most. I think that's the most important
I
thing.
agree with that
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Exactly. Because it's somebody that's dead doesn't they can't say whether or not they like it. That's why I feel shitty about it. Like I wouldn't want to make a decision for somebody that's dead unless I can do a seance and communicate with them, which I'm trying very hard. If anybody has any tips out there, please let me know.
I haven't been invited to a single seance of yours so
well,
far.
you're invited to my next one.